Shortly after the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, rumours began to emerge about a rift between the duchesses. Stories of feuding filled the press. But some royal sources thought that the real rift could be between Princes William and Harry.
Things got so bad between them that I was told by a very senior source close to both of the brothers that there was a period of time when they actually weren't talking to each other.
Whilst on tour in Australia, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced Meghan was expecting a baby. It was quickly followed by the news that they would be moving from Kensington Palace, which had been home to the Fab Four, choosing Frogmore Cottage, a quieter and more private location on the Windsor estate, away from the glare of London. But was Harry and Meghan's decision to move motivated by impending parenthood or a rift between the brothers?
Harry lived in a relatively small house round the back of Kensington Palace called Nottingham Cottage. It wasn't big enough for a young, growing family. There were options to stay at Kensington Palace in a different apartment there, but the idea that they were all living together in one big apartment like characters from Friends is ridiculous.
Both Meghan and Harry felt that they wanted to just be their own people, establish their own court, establish their own household, and have a sense of freedom from the Cambridges. Of course, that move away from Kensington Palace to Frogmore Cottage only fueled the rumours of a rift, of a fallout, of the fact that clearly they didn't get on and the Sussexes just wanted to be out of Kensington Palace, and therefore wasn't this conclusive evidence.
I was told that after the royal wedding, Meghan and Harry and Kate and William, despite living on the same complex at Kensington Palace, didn't see each other privately for a number of months. They just didn't see each other. The Queen offered them Frogmore Cottage, which is on the private Windsor estate.
There are conflicting accounts as to why Meghan and Harry have gone to Frogmore. Some of them say Wills and Kate wanted them out of the way because they were getting all the publicity. But then there's the other school of thought that Meghan and Harry wanted to go. The word is there's worry in the palace now that now they're there, they will start creating their own thing that will become very difficult to control.
Harry and Meghan moved into their new home. The world's press eagerly awaited news of their first child's imminent arrival. Details had been heavily guarded, a clear departure from the Cambridges' approach.
When Meghan and Harry had their baby, everything was totally different to the way that Kate and William had done it, because William and Kate did it in a public way. They shared their joy with the public.
Very emotional. It's such a special time. I think any parent, I think, will probably sort of know what this feeling feels like. So it's
very special.
Harry and Meghan didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep it totally private. I understand that to a certain degree, but the world wants to see and the world wants to know, and they are public figures.
There was a lot of upset in the media that Harry and Meghan were snubbing tradition, that they were snubbing protocol, which they weren't. They were just doing things differently.
It wasn't done in a very royal way or the way we'd come to expect. But then Harry's excuse was, well, I'm a private person, but you cannot be royal and be sixth in line to the throne and be a private person. I would think it might bother William a little bit because he might see the way that Harry and Meghan do things as being detrimental to the business of the monarchy as a whole.
Just after the birth announcement was made by the palace, Harry came out and gave an impromptu press call. He came out and spoke to the TV cameras, taking actually even his closest advisors by surprise.
I'm very excited to announce that Meghan and myself had a baby boy early this morning. It's been the most amazing experience I could ever possibly imagine.
It is very tricky, that tightrope that the royals have to walk between what's private, what's public. Just because they're funded by the taxpayer, does that mean we should be entitled to all of their private life, some of their private life, just the births of their children, not the births of their children? Harry and Meghan made it quite clear that they wanted to do things differently. I think William Because of his position in the royal family and his children's position in the royal family, he accepts the public interest, accepts that you have to give a little. I think Harry thinks, I don't give a damn. Why should I have to give anything? I want my privacy, and I want to protect the privacy of my wife and my child, and therefore I will do what I want to do. And I think in the past, when he would have listened to his brother's advice and he would have been counselled by his brother, now I don't think he listens to his brother.
Rumours of a rift were fuelled by reports that it took a few days for William and Kate to meet the newest member of the royal family.
Look forward to meeting him and finding out what his name's going to be. So it's really exciting for both.
It's interesting that, you know, when Archie was born, Wills and Kate didn't actually meet him for a whole week, which I think is, you know, that would fuel the rumours of a rift, because I think that's quite odd. You know, because no matter how tired Meghan was feeling or how unwell or whatever, you would still let the closest members of your family in on that, because it's a joyous event. Why wouldn't you let members of your family in?
Yeah, they maybe didn't see little Archie, but maybe at that time there was a probably misunderstanding between the two. They weren't necessarily on the best of terms, but the royal family are the same as anybody else. They're a very privileged family. They've got their certain manners and protocol, but the fact is, it's just a family. That's all it is. And sometimes things aren't clicking.
They may have thought, let's give them a week. And by a week, you'll have been slowly getting back to normal. We all remember those days, and they may have done it because they were being kind. They may also have had work to do, engagements to be carried out, all sorts of things.
In June 2019, Kensington Palace announced the Sussexes were to leave the royal foundation. They were splitting from William and Kate so they could focus on causes important to them. It fueled media rumours of a rift between the couples, but some saw it as inevitable, given the prince's differing future roles.
I think that if anyone has any doubts about the falling out between Harry and William, you only have to look at that forum back in February.
You know, we've all got that same passion to want to make a difference, but, you know, different opinions. And I think those opinions work really, really well.
The four of them were talking about how they're all going to work together, how they're all going to go forward, take the charitable vehicle, how it was all going to be amazing, all these amazing things they did together. And just 16 months on, it's just ashes.
We should have all seen it coming. Kate and William want to do things their way, and Meghan and Harry want to do things their way, and they could not meet in the middle.
Working as family does have its challenges, of course it does. Everybody here, the fact that everyone's laughing means that everybody knows exactly what it's like.
When that split happened, I, as a commentator of nearly 30 years on the royal family, wasn't surprised at all, because it sort of is a natural break. But what it was perceived to be was this huge rift, a feud.
The whole point was to harness the four of them as a strength, rather than having them all go off and do their different things, which, of course, is now what's happened.
So what will the future hold for the royal brothers and their relationship?
If this continues, I can see Meghan and Harry saying, we've had enough. That's it. We're off. I can see them living in another country. I could see them sat on Oprah's couch, telling the world about their new life.
The future for William is very clear. He will become the Prince of Wales, and then he will become the king. He doesn't really have a choice there. Harry's got much more latitude to live where he and Meghan want to live, and to do what they want to do, whatever projects they want to do.